The narrative surrounding Floyd Mayweather's financial status is a tangled web of speculation, accusation, and ostentatious displays of wealth that both captivate and confound observers. At the heart of it lies a question that has lingered for years. Does the man who earned over $1.2 billion in his boxing career still possess the fortune that once defined him, or has his lavish lifestyle eroded it to the point of bankruptcy? The conversation is fueled by a mix of public statements, media reports, and the occasional insider claim, each adding a layer of complexity to the enigma that is Mayweather's money. Mayweather, known as Money for good reason, built an empire on his undefeated 50-0 boxing record, with blockbuster fights against Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor generating hundreds of millions in revenue. His pay-per-view events shattered records, and his ability to market himself as the sport's ultimate showman ensured that every punch thrown came with a hefty paycheck. Yet, despite this, whispers of financial trouble have trailed him since his retirement from professional boxing in 2017. Critics point to his exhibition bouts, lucrative but less prestigious matches against opponents like Logan Paul and Deji, as evidence of a need to replenish dwindling coffers. Others, including boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, have openly questioned whether Mayweather's wealth matches his public persona, suggesting that his extravagant spending might outpace his earnings. The latest controversy erupted in early 2025, when employees at Mayweather's Los Angeles gym, operated under his Money Team brand, staged a protest over unpaid wages. Signs accusing the company of modern-day slavery and declaring that the Money Team has no dollars painted a stark contrast to Mayweather's image as a financial juggernaut. Reports from outlets like the Daily Mail detailed the staff's grievances, alleging that the gym faced closure due to financial mismanagement. One employee claimed they hadn't been paid for weeks, leaving them unable to cover basic expenses, while another suggested that Mayweather himself might be unaware of the situation, silenced by a corporate structure that kept such issues from reaching him. California's labor code looms large here, with potential penalties for non-payment ranging from $100 to $200 per violation, and the possibility of employees suing for a full day's wages for each day they go unpaid. The threat of legal repercussions adds weight to the accusations, raising questions about the stability of Mayweather's business ventures. This isn't the first time one of Mayweather's gyms has faced trouble. In Elk Grove, another facility shuttered after the landlord sued for $30,000 in unpaid rent, a pattern that suggests systemic issues within the Money Team's operations. Yet, amidst these claims, Mayweather's real estate investments tell a different story. In October 2024, he made headlines with a $42 million deal to acquire over 60 buildings in Upper Manhattan, comprising more than 1,000 units. A month later, he invested in 601W Companies, a real estate firm with a $10 billion portfolio spanning 18 office buildings and 10 million square feet. By Christmas, he added a $20 million Midtown Manhattan property to his collection, a quarter-block stretch on 6th Avenue, steps from Broadway and Rockefeller Center. These moves, particularly his partnership with SL Green Realty Corp., signal a deliberate shift toward building generational wealth through assets that generate income even when he's not in the ring. Mayweather himself has spoken about this transition, emphasizing real estate as a means to secure his legacy. On the Earn Your Leisure podcast, he recounted walking through New York with SL Green's president, Andrew Matias, who pointed out building after building owned by the company. "A boxer makes money when he's boxing," Matias told him, "but New York real estate makes money when you sleep." This philosophy seems to guide Mayweather's recent ventures, including his involvement in a proposed casino project with Caesars, SL Green, and Jay-Z's Roc Nation, aiming to bring jobs and entertainment to Times Square. Such investments suggest a man planning for the long term, not one teetering on the edge of financial ruin. Still, the accusations of bankruptcy persist, amplified by figures like David Hall, Mayweather's former accountant, who claimed the boxer is not only broke but drowning in debt and entangled in tax fraud. Hall's assertions, though unverified, point to a narrative that Mayweather's exhibitions and endorsement deals are less about choice and more about necessity, with earnings funneled directly into debt repayment. This perspective aligns with earlier reports that suggested financial strain was a factor in Mayweather's 2017 fight with McGregor, a bout that earned him a reported $300 million. Critics argue that his lifestyle, private jets, luxury cars, diamond-encrusted watches, burns through millions monthly, leaving little room for error. One estimate posited that even a $100 million annual income could vanish quickly with $5 to $7 million in monthly expenses, compounded by taxes and business obligations. Mayweather has consistently pushed back against these claims, often with a flair that borders on theatrical. In a video response to Eddie Hearn's skepticism, he brandished a check, announcing its six-figure sum with a grin, as if to say, "How's this for broke?" His encounter with Hearn in Las Vegas, where the two traded jabs about his wealth before laughing it off, underscored Mayweather's confidence in his financial standing. "I had to show Eddie some of my accounts," he quipped, suggesting his bank balance speaks louder than rumors. Hearn, for his part, played along, joking that Mayweather's fortune would be even greater had he been his promoter. The exchange revealed no real animosity, but it highlighted the public's fascination with Mayweather's money, or lack thereof. The boxer's defenders argue that his spending habits, while extravagant, are strategic. His real estate portfolio, now including 9 skyscrapers in New York, generates passive income, and his investments in 601W and other ventures diversify his wealth beyond boxing. An insider close to Mayweather dismissed the gym controversy, claiming the LA facility is a franchise, with Mayweather merely collecting a fee rather than managing its finances. This explanation, echoed by Rick Glazer on social media, seeks to distance the boxer from the unpaid wages, framing the issue as a franchisee's failure rather than a reflection of Mayweather's personal wealth. Yet, the optics are damaging. Protester signs accusing the money team of bankruptcy cut deep, especially for a man whose brand is synonymous with success. Employees' fears of retaliation for speaking out reveal a disconnect between Mayweather's public image and the reality of those working under his name. One worker's claim that they were instructed not to inform Mayweather of the gym's troubles suggests a fragmented operation, where the boss may be insulated from the fallout of his brand's mismanagement. Whether this is intentional or a byproduct of his sprawling empire is unclear, but it fuels speculation that Mayweather's control over his ventures may not be as ironclad as his boxing record. Al Haymon, Mayweather's longtime advisor and a Harvard-educated powerhouse in boxing, looms large in this narrative. Haymon, who left a 6-figure job to join Mayweather early in his career, helped build Premier Boxing Champions, PBC, a platform that owes much of its success to Mayweather's record-breaking fights. Observers wonder why Haymon, with his financial acumen and billions raised for PBC, hasn't stepped in to resolve the gym's issues. Some speculate that Haymon's involvement could stabilize Mayweather's ventures, while others argue that the boxer's independence, his insistence on being his own boss, might limit such intervention. Mayweather himself has praised Haymon's loyalty, noting that their shared vision turned millions into billions, but the gym controversy raises questions about whether that vision extends to the boxer's current business dealings. Mayweather's own words offer insight into his mindset. He speaks of pushing those around him to succeed, from his security team building their own businesses to his broader goal of helping the next generation surpass his achievements. "I don't want for nothing," he told TMZ, reflecting on a childhood dream of owning a single home. Now, with skyscrapers and a real estate empire, he seems focused on legacy over flash. Yet, his past, going back and forth on social media, as he put it, suggests a sensitivity to criticism that lingers. His decision to step away from online feuds signals growth, but the bankruptcy rumors test his resolve to rise above the noise. The contrast between Mayweather's investments and the gym's struggles paints a picture of a man at a crossroads. On one hand, his real estate deals and partnerships with firms like SL Green position him as a savvy investor, building wealth that could outlast his boxing fame. On the other, the unpaid wages and closure threats at his gyms hint at vulnerabilities in his brand's foundation. If the LA gym shuts down, it won't be the first, nor, perhaps, the last, casualty of a business model that may prioritize expansion over oversight. California's labor laws could compound the issue, with penalties and lawsuits looming if the allegations hold. Mayweather's exhibitions, which he calls legalized bank robberies, remain a point of contention. To some, they're a sign of financial desperation, to others, a calculated move to stay relevant while cashing 8-figure checks. His claim of earning $10 million in a single day, shared casually in conversation, reinforces the latter view, but skeptics like Hearn argue that the need to keep performing suggests a deeper issue. The truth likely lies in between, a man with immense wealth, but one whose spending and business ventures require constant income to sustain. As the saga unfolds, Mayweather's response will shape the narrative. Will he address the gym's employees directly, as a leader taking responsibility, or maintain the distance his team claims exists between him and the franchise's woes? His history suggests the latter. He's weathered similar storms by doubling down on his image, flashing wealth to drown out doubt. But the stakes are higher now, with legal and reputational risks that could dent even his carefully crafted armor. In the end, Mayweather's story is one of contradiction, a billionaire who inspires awe and skepticism in equal measure. His real estate empire grows, yet his gyms falter. He speaks of uplifting others, yet his employees protest. He laughs off bankruptcy claims, yet the whispers persist. Whether he's truly broke or simply misunderstood, one thing is certain: Floyd Mayweather remains a spectacle, in and out of the ring, his every move watched by a world eager to see if money can still buy invincibility.